Boxed Off Forum. What's going on, guys? What's happening, fight fans? We're just going to debrief the fight that we just witnessed. The heavyweight clash between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk. For those of you who missed the fight or got to it late, the fight ended, I think, the way that most people didn't expect. A lot of people probably expected for Alexander Usyk to win, but not in the fashion that he did win. The fight ended at Wembley Stadium, July 19, 2025, by a fifth round knockout. Alexander Usyk caught Daniel Dubois with a beautiful left hook, flush on the chin, knocked his mouthpiece out, and he didn't get back up in time for the count. It was actually followed by, I think it was a left hook, was a right hook. Might have been a left hook again off the top of his head. Kind of knocked his equilibrium out. I think it was a right hook. And Daniel Dubois' equilibrium went in the fifth round earlier on by about a minute in the fifth round. He got up in time for that count, but I don't think his legs or his head never really recovered. But then, Usyk, being the master, the wizard that he is, hopped on him again in round 5, about 20 seconds later, and the fight ended in just under 2 minutes into the fifth round, and knocked Dubois out, like I said, with a beautiful left hook, and the rest is history. If you take it from round 1, Dubois never really got his jab going. I mean, everyone talked about the Dubois jab being the key to him landing that big right hand. You can see in the first round he tried to get the right hand going, but he was leading with the right hand. He wasn't really leading with the left hand. So he wasn't using his jab to get the right hand going. He just kind of leading and overstretching with the right hand. So that meant that Alexander Usyk can just basically pick him apart. And from round 1, you can see that the intent of Usyk was, man, to get his left hand going. And there was no answer for Dubois with the check left hook. He just had no answer for it. Usyk was getting caught with the right hand of Dubois from time to time, but a lot of time was hitting glove, then chin, so he was blocking it with his clever use of his boxing wizardry. He has a strong boxing IQ. I mean, easily the best in the division. His footwork was just stupid. I mean, it was like watching a ballet dance in at times. And he would kind of switch stances, but then somehow stay in the southpaw stance. It's almost as if he was just like doing some sort of shutter step or whatever. And yeah, it was just mesmerizing. See, I was kind of disappointed because I kind of thought that Dubois would really come out stronger in the first round. And I think that when you look at the fight, and I will probably watch it again for sure, you can see that Usyk did to Dubois exactly what he did to AJ in the first and the second fight. He just figures these guys out, and if you fight him again, and if he got out on you the first time, he's going to do it again. He's probably going to do it better the second time. He did it against Fury. He fought Fury twice. The second time he fought Fury, he figured him out, made it look easy. He fought AJ the second time. AJ tried to do something different. He made it easy, work with AJ. And now again with Dubois, he's made it look easy. In fact, this is probably the most emphatic win because Dubois is younger than both AJ and Fury, stronger than AJ and Fury. Just knocked out AJ in round 5 at Wembley, but then got his ass knocked out in round 5 in this fight. I do feel a bit sorry for Dubois because I feel that, with all of a lot of people made this big deal about, he was on a three-winning streak, a 3-fight win streak, and he looked good against Baby Miller. He looked good against Ergovich, and he looked sensational against AJ. But I think what this really shows you, fight fans and even casual fans, when you hear people say there's levels to this, there's truly levels to this. And there's no doubt about it, Usyk is on another level. I actually thought Fury was going to give Usyk the best run for his money, and he did for a minute in fight 1. Usyk was getting caught with with various combinations and from Fury, and for the first, I would say, 5 rounds of that first fight, Fury was in control. But then, obviously, as we always see from Usyk, there's levels and there's gears, and he has an engine on him that's unbelievable. Something I want you to always think about before I end this clip. I was at the final press conference at Wembley Stadium a couple of days ago on Thursday, and what I witnessed there was just when you see a fighter in person, you really get to see the intensity in their eyes. You see their body language. You see the movement. You see their level of confidence, and the way that Usyk came out and the way he spoke about what this victory would mean to him. You kind of felt like that was the defining moment of the fight, because Usyk felt like, I'm not just doing this for me. I stopped fighting for me a long time ago. I'm fighting for my country. I'm fighting for the world. I'm fighting for the people. And when someone says that calmly, but with a lot of intent, it's different than someone saying, I want revenge. You know, you and I can go home to our families in our homes around London, around the world, around England, and we'll get in bed with our wives and hug our kids and so on and so forth. But this man is going back home, and half his country's been bombed still by the Russians. I was speaking to his cut man a couple of days ago, Russ Abner, and Russ said to me, people tend to forget he had a child that was born during one of his training camps during the war. And then after the training camp, he fought and went back home to his wife and his newborn kid during a war. That's something you can't really put into perspective. That's who you're fighting against. You know, you're not just fighting against some dude from up the highway or from across the pond. You know, you're fighting someone who's fighting for something completely different to anything that you and I could ever imagine. And that's not taking anything away from the struggles that human beings have in today's world, because we all have our own struggles. But when you put it into perspective, and then you put Usyk's level of boxing prowess into perspective, you put Usyk's training regime, which is stupid, by the way, it's absolutely sick. It's on another level. It dwarfs whatever you think you've seen that's great in the training camp. And the Ukrainians and these Eastern Europeans, this is what they're doing. They're emulating what one success story they have in like Usyk and Lomachenko, and they're trying to replicate that. And so there's like a few mini Usyks that's coming up behind him when he walks away. So I end this short segment or this short debrief of what I just saw, and I'll probably watch this fight again probably tonight. There's some more boxing I want to look at tonight. I was unable, as you can tell, I'm in my own home. I was unable to go to Wembley tonight, and some family things that had to pop up. But we're going to try to be there for the next event, next major event. We're going to try to make it to Riyadh for the Yardi fight against Benavidez. So we're going to try to be there for that. So stay tuned. And we got a couple more press conferences coming up in the UK that we're going to try to make and give you some more box style coverage of that. But what I witnessed tonight was a fighter who defined his brilliance and made a statement for his legacy. I think what we all saw tonight was a fighter who cemented his legacy forever. Doesn't matter what he does tomorrow. Doesn't matter if he fights again. I think he should retire, but he probably won't, because he's 38, but he's not an aging 38. If you watch tonight's fight, he doesn't even move like someone who's 38. He moved like he was 28, and he boxed like he was 28. And so for him, age doesn't make a difference to him, because you have to remember, in his 20s, he was still boxing amateur. So 2012, he was an amateur at 2012. He just won Olympic gold at 2012. So that's not even That's just only 13 years ago. 15, sorry. This is, oh, yeah, 13 years ago. So it's 2025. So, having said that, he was still in his 20s as an amateur when a lot of fighters in the US and UK, they're going pro before that. So there's as far as Usyk and Team Usyk is concerned, it's just easy pickings. You know, he's getting 100 million for this fight. Dubois got 70 million plus for this fight. Well played to both of them. They got generational money, both of them at this moment in time. And don't forget, Usyk made a few hundred million for his 2 encounters with Fury. So he's probably a couple hundred million to the good, easy. I'd like to see fighters go out on top and ride off into the sunset on top. I hate to see great fighters such as these take a L when they shouldn't take a L. But the one thing we know about boxers, they really don't know when to go away. They really don't know when to step away until the inevitable happens. And I hope it doesn't happen to Usyk because I think he's a true great. We'll do another video. We're going to talk about our top 10 fighters or top 10 heavyweights of all time. And I can easily tell you this guy, Usyk, is already in that top 10. I have to do a bit more thinking about it as to see where he marries up in that top 10. But in the top 10 heavyweights, he's definitely in there. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Undisputed cruiserweight and now twice undisputed heavyweight. It's never been done before. Never been done before. So whether you say he's not the greatest heavyweight, for whatever reason, bear this in mind. You can only be as great as the people that's in front of you in your era. And in this era, the top heavyweights, he's beaten them all. And he's beaten them in their prime. And he's beaten them twice in their prime. And Dubois isn't even in his prime yet because he's only 27. So you can arguably say he's got a lot more to learn. But will Dubois be the same fighter at 34 than he is at 27? Will he be the same fighter at 37? He's at 27. I don't think so. But he's definitely, he's been a champion once. I think he'll be a champion again. I don't know if he'll be undisputed champion because once Usyk walks away and these belts gets divvied up, I think it'll be a long time before you see someone unify these belts and do what Usyk's done. Very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. So well played to Usyk. Congratulations to Alexander Usyk and Team Usyk. I want to say commiserations to Dubois and Team Dubois. There's just levels. This is, you know, I think even his team recognize it. You probably just lost to an all-time great or one of the all-time greats. And because there's levels to this stuff, I think they're going to take this loss on the chin. All the first fight, low blow, controversy, that's out the window. You can't dispute that now because you got knocked out in fight number 2. So, yeah, stay tuned. I got some more boxing to watch tonight. I'm going to stay up and watch a couple of fights in the U.S. I like Bam Bam Rodriguez, so I'm gonna watch that fight. He's an exciting fighter. One of my most exciting fighters I'm watching today. So yeah, I'll be up pretty late to watch that tonight. Probably it's now just about almost 11 o'clock. So I'm probably gonna be up to about maybe 3. I might catch some sleep, then cut it up for 2 o'clock and watch some fights in the U.S. Until then, guys, stay tuned. Like I said, if you haven't watched the fight, watch the full fight. Don't just watch the highlights. Try to watch the full fight. It only lasted 5 rounds, but it was 5 good rounds, especially if you're an Usyk fan. Stay tuned, stay up, and also keep your chins up and keep your hands up, and always fight the good fight. Never give up. Peace out.